Do you know that GST-registered businesses must show prices inclusive of GST? If not, they are breaking the law. Watch on, because here's the tricky part. Not all businesses need to do that. So, let's start with the default, because most Singaporeans don't actually know that this is a legal requirement and not just a nice to have. You see, what you might not know is that GST-registered businesses must display and quote prices inclusive of GST to the public. And display here is very wide. It covers price tags, price lists, advertisements, publicity brochures, and your website. It even covers prices you quote verbally over the phone. Nevertheless, if a business insists on showing both the GST-inclusive and the GST-exclusive price side by side, that's allowed, but the GST-inclusive price must be displayed at least as prominent as the other one. You cannot put the big fat $100 in bold and then hide the $109 in tiny grey print at the bottom. Failing to comply is an offense, and it carries a fine of up to $5,000. I know you are surprised, because being quoted prices before GST is almost common. So, is it a rule that is not enforced? Well, no. IRAS has actually prosecuted for it. In one case published by IRAS, a furniture retailer was taken to court after a tip-off from a member of the public. Its newspaper advertisement carries small print, same prices as crude delivery and GST, and officers who visited its showroom found GST exclusive price displayed there too. The company had already received warnings before. It was found guilty of 4 charges covering its advertisements, its showroom, and its website, and was ordered to pay $4,000 in fines. But anyways, I know what you are thinking. Like that, won't all restaurants be committing an offense? Well, watch on. If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. You see, IRAS grants an exception to hotels and food and beverages establishments that impose a service charge on their goods and services. These businesses are not required to display GST-inclusive prices for the items that are subject to their service charge. That's your plus on the menu, as the first plus stands for service charge and the second plus stands for GST. I know today you learned that plus doesn't mean just plus, but they actually stand for something else. But why? IRAS explains that without the exception, an F&B outlet might have to maintain 2 separate price lists, one for dine-in and one for takeaway, because takeaway usually has no service charge, or you will have to recompute every single price on the menu whenever it reduces or waives the service charge. So instead of forcing restaurants to reprint menus every time, IRAS lets them show the base price. Basically, it's because of service charge that they can remove the GST amount on the menu and make it 1 instead. But the exception comes with a condition, and this is the part diners should look out for. The eatery must still display a prominent statement telling customers that the price shown are subject to GST and service charge. Also, do note that GST is charged on the total amount including the service charge, not just the food. That's why 10% service charge plus 9% GST does not come to 19%. It actually comes down to 19.9%. I know you are wondering why we still need to pay service charge when the only service we get is a QR code on the table. But anyways, here's the thing. The exception does not apply to hotels and F&B outlets that do not impose a service charge. So if a GST-registered eatery has no service charge at all, it must display GST-inclusive prices. Now, I know after watching this video, you might feel poor, but do you know that if you are indeed poor, you kind of do not need to pay GST? I'm not kidding. Watch this and you will understand. Also, if you want to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Our website is in the description, or you can scan this QR code. Thank you for spending almost 4 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.